Good evening. It is February 20th, 5:14 p.m. Meeting of the Board of Assessment Appeals. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's see. I guess we should take attendance. We haven't been doing that, I don't think. Everyone that's here, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're all here. All right. Number 3, approval of minutes of December 4th organizational meeting. Any changes, corrections, additions, conflicts with the minutes?
Nope. I mean, I think you know that I was asked for clarification on whether we took a vote on removing the assessor from the,
No, I didn't know that. Why were you asked that?
Yeah, you were copied on it, but maybe you didn't get it.
Oh, okay. I probably didn't see
From
it.
From the first selectman's office. So I went back and, listened to the recording and I looked at the minutes. She said I didn't see it in the minutes, and I went back and confirmed for the first selectman's office that we did not take a vote, and it is not. The minutes were accurate. We didn't vote. So
I thought we had voted, and that we said that if I thought we had decided. I guess you can't call it a vote. Maybe you can, but I thought we had decided that if that email address is a real mailbox, we would agree to remove him. Did I get that wrong?
I think we found all that information out after the meeting. So all I did was clarify that we did not vote at the meeting. That's
okay. Because I told her that we had voted because I thought we did it by email. That you're right. We got that information after that, but because she's a pain in the ass and she won't listen. And let me say that again. She's a giant pain in the ass and she won't listen. So because of that, we have to now take a vote. So let us stop what we're doing now that we have the information. Now,
does everyone make a motion? Add it to the agenda, right?
What?
It's not on the agenda, this vote, so let's just make a motion to add the vote to remove the assessor from the BAA email.
Okay, let somebody do that.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Hello?
I'm not in favor of it, so I'm not going to make the motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to add a voting item to the agenda, which is to remove the assessor from BAA meetings?
No, email.
Email. Sorry, excuse me, from emails.
Okay.
BAA emails.
Okay. All in favor?
This is a vote to add it to the agenda.
Add it
to the agenda. Okay.
Yep. All in favor.
Add to the agenda.
Okay.
All right.
So it's 5-0 to add it to the agenda. Okay. Now the item's on the agenda, so now you can.
Now we can do it?
Or do whatever else you want to do with it.
Let's just do it since we're talking about it. Okay. I make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we remove the assessor from the BAA email. And my reasoning is not personal. My reasoning is simply that he is not an elected member. He is not a member in any way of the board. He does not need to be involved or hear or listen to or have any input into anything that we discuss. If we need to speak with him, we can email him, and he's welcome to email the board in a group, but he's not going to be. I'm saying that I do not want him included on our communication amongst ourselves. Okay, so that's my motion, that we remove him. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed.
Okay. So the motion carries. Pauline, Paulette, and Carol are in favor. Kathleen and Peter voted against. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will let Madam, whatever she is, what is she? Is she the Chief of Staff, Kathleen?
She's yes.
Okay, I'll let Her Highness know that we voted. She's welcome to check the minutes, and of course she won't believe me, so she'll probably call you, Kathleen. So if you want to tell her,
it'll be in the minutes. It'll be in the minutes.
Okay, all right. Okay. Is there any other time that we can waste on her requests, or are we done with her now?
I think that was the only
Okay,
unresolved.
moving on. Oh, did we actually, we didn't decide whether to accept the minutes, I don't think. We talked
That's
about them, I
correct.
don't think we made that decision. Okay.
Right.
Anybody
We
wanna make a
interrupted
motion?
it with the other motion.
Yep. If there's no changes, any other changes, concerns, or anything else, or any other comments, would someone like to make a motion
I'll
to?
make a motion that we, accept the minutes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
I think
will
that's
post-
everybody. I think
Yep.
it's,
I will post
motion
the
carries. Okay.
Final minutes.
Okay. A report from the assessor on upcoming revaluation. I spoke to Ross twice, and he had nothing to say. Unfortunately, because I was sick, I forgot to call there or email him and invite him to the meeting. So he did not get adequate notice. He said he had something else that he had to do tonight, so he's not here. So I guess we can always talk to him before we start our work, but when I talked to him today, he really didn't have anything to say. You know, there was nothing, there were no changes, there was no new handbook, there was nothing going on. So anybody have any other information to that, regarding that?
No, other than I did email him when I didn't hear from you about the agenda to let him know that, that he was on the agenda, and he said he was unable to attend because he needed to be in Trumbull at 6 tonight. So
Okay.
that was the communication I received from him. And then at that point, I'd asked him if he could please then have somebody put together a list of, how many appeals there are and or what times people are requesting so that we can, kind of more easily figure out what days and times we want to do appeals and hopefully get the notifications out on Monday. So they did make copies of all of them. I don't know that I ended up putting a spreadsheet together today that sort of lists what they all are and what the time slots are, so we have some idea of, volume and how many days or nights we're going to need to hear them.
Okay.
So we can
All right.
hopefully set a better calendar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly. Yeah.
And so we're not going to have a discussion with the assessor, so that was item number 5 on here, hearing.
Yeah, he had nothing to say and he wasn't available. No,
Yep.
I think the item on the agenda was to hear a report on the upcoming reval. And so
Yeah.
he didn't give you any information on the reval.
Yeah, I don't think he has it. I don't really know where we are in the process. I assumed that this time they were coming into homes, but everybody I've talked to around town, nobody's had a request to have somebody come in their house. So I don't know if they're doing that last or if they just aren't doing it. I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And I didn't receive anything in the mail, or did I? Hang on a second. Angus,
Yeah.
do we get anything in the mail from the assessor?
I haven't gotten anything.
No. Yeah.
No.
So I didn't get anything in the mail, one of those questionnaires where you fill out either, so I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, my only comment to make about if he had been here, I would have said that I really think that they need to start talking more to the public
Yeah.
about this process
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
possibly making all of the sales, all the qualified sales, what they consider a qualified sale, available to the public to see. There's no reason why that information that they're using to build their models shouldn't be available to the public as time is going on. And every
I
time
agree.
they have what's on, you can add the 25 qualified sales that you're using to build your model, so people can see what's being sold.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard to write a little piece to put in the newsletter and say,
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's
know.
a very thorough newsletter. It is thorough. It's interesting that nothing is on there. There's a lot of other stuff on there that I don't care about.
Just an FYI, is it Pitt that, Sotheby's,
What?
the manager who lives in Darien?
Yes,
Yeah.
Linda,
He-
my boss, yeah.
Yeah, and, they use the same
Yes.
company that we're gonna be using.
Yeah.
So she showed us the website, that, instead of BGSI, she showed us the website. It's a different format.
It's a different format.
Yeah.
In fact, if you look at the town of Weston, I believe it's
The
the
Weston
same
also?
one. Mhm.
You just go to Darien and look
Or
for
what,
their-
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Was there reval going on now or just?
There is
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
2
Yeah.
years ago.
okay,
But you'll get a sense of what,
Because she, as
Ours
an
is
agent, was receiving
got it. And how did she like?
an
what
inordinate
questions did
amount of
Mary
phone
Ann
calls,
have?
because everyone 2 years ago was freaking out.
yeah.
What
I
was,
thought it was Patty.
did she
Oh,
like
Patty,
it?
yeah, why did I say Linda? Linda was
yeah.
my old one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
it's Patty.
exactly, yeah.
Did
You're
she
right.
like it? Or did
she
they?
was,
Yeah, you're able to assimilate it
Yeah.
It's
similarly.
very hard to search Vision for the comparable sales. It's just not an easy.
Oh, no,
You have
no,
to
no.
check all the boxes. I mean,
I've never done that,
you know, what do
Yeah,
I?
well,
ever. Well,
yeah.
because we have MLS.
Right.
Well,
we
I
don't-
know, but the
yeah.
public doesn't have that, so.
No,
that-
I don't know, I'd have to
It's a
look at
spreadsheet
the,
of
I'd have
the
to look at
sales.
the new one and see. Did you spend any time on it? She just showed it to us.
No,
We're
I just
looking
looked at it.
Yeah. I don't know.
You click on links versus it all being there.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
you click on, land, you
Right.
click on, it's
then
just
you
a
can
different way
do a
to
whole
slice the same
printout,
pie.
yeah.
That's
If you've
just
ever-
for the readout.
if you-
not-
It's not the process.
The
Right.
property card, is it, or you're talking about how the
The
reval's
property
being
card.
done?
How it looks, like.
The property
right-
card.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we're changing that company.
We're not?
No, the reval, they just hire someone to do the reval, but Vision is, as far as I know, Vision is
Oh.
still
Oh,
our
that's
database of data, so
Oh.
our property card structure's not gonna
So we'll
change.
still have VGSI.
Oh.
Yeah, I
that's
believe,
interesting.
they hired, right, last time it was.
I just thought it was one
Fazio
and the
who
same.
did the reval,
Yeah.
right? It's like they
I
hire a
don't know.
revaluation
Right.
company. So this time they hired,
But I thought because this company
may
has their own, I thought maybe
Right.
switch to that.
I don't think so, I think this, you just sign a contract, they do the
Oh.
reval, they feed the data
Okay.
wherever, now maybe they're switching over and I never saw that I
Oh.
mean, that's possible.
I don't think so.
Too many questions.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I was just
I don't
thinking the
think
sales data would be super helpful, a year's worth of
Yeah.
sales data.
You don't think so, what, Paul, that we're gonna switch over?
I don't think we're gonna, not now. I think we're gonna be using Vision. Kathy
Oh,
Sierra,
okay.
that works with me, she works,
Oh, yeah,
she
yeah,
works-
she does stuff for Vision, yeah.
she does stuff for Mike Fazio too.
Yeah, right.
So she may have worked for this other company at one point, because she's one of those people that you go to complain in your first informal appeal. So she never does Fairfield though, but she may have done a town where they've used their system. I wonder what it's like. I can ask her if she knows anything about them.
Okay.
But the thing is this, I think it's a great idea that we should be able to, that the public should have access to those comps. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I think that, to keep in mind that they tell you they have all the comps. Yeah, they have all the comps. Big deal. We have all the comps too, but we don't agree on them. So what is it that they do? They develop a formula. Well, how do they develop their formula? I don't know. Did you ever hear Ross try to explain it? You never understand it. And the town, and nobody questions them. I listened to it. Board of Finance, they asked a few questions at the end, but nobody really understood it, and they don't care. It's too much for them to get. They're never going to understand that. And he just goes ahead and does his formula, and whatever happens, wherever it shakes out, it shakes out. So it's really not just the comps. But I think it's good that the town should have access to them. It could help them with their appeal.
Public should have access, they don't have MLS like you guys do.
Yeah,
So they can't,
that's what I said, they should
they're out
have
there
it.
trying
Yep.
to go on Zillow, and they're,
Yeah.
they're searching around. I mean, it's just a
Terrible.
lot of work. If they could go
It
find
is.
7
Yeah, if they
houses
could find,
that are ranches on their street, putting a filter on an Excel spreadsheet and pulling out the sales, then they're also gonna start to keep an eye on what's going on in the market, and they're gonna realize this market is higher, because they have no idea. They're just gonna compare, right, what they were last time with this time, and they're gonna freak out.
Well, they're gonna apply the mill rate, and they're
Current
gonna
mill
freak
rate.
out
That's right.
which is
without
correct.
realizing
Yeah.
the mill rate.
And they're all
Which
gonna
is
come in,
incorrect.
Usually going to
and it's
be
gonna
lower.
be, and we could stop a lot of that from happening if we just
Yeah.
gave a much more,
Yeah.
I honestly think that that the town should not be giving the property values without the
The new mill
decision
rate.
on the mill rate.
Mhm.
But I guess the
Yeah.
timing, 'cause
Yeah.
but like, or there better be big words in there saying,
They should remind, in the letter. they
don't
should
apply
remind
your old
people.
mill rate, we're going to have a new one. leave it blank, because we don't know where it's going, but
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
that should-
everyone's gonna
That should be in the
freak
letter,
out.
you know,
Right.
as a reminder to people.
Right,
Yeah, but it's educating the public on what's going on and how to
yeah.
understand, and
Yeah.
also to understand the market, right?
Maybe
Like-
we should try to meet with, like the first selectman or something, since it's his newsletter.
Good luck. Good luck. No,
but
I
in
think
a
that,
letter-
Or
yeah.
someone,
But the letter that
one of his
comes out-
selectman people.
But the letter
If he's
that comes
willing to
out,
meet
we
with us,
can-
I
we
think
can
that's a
easily
great
put a
idea.
sentence in there about
If
mill
he's-
rate.
Yeah.
If
Every
he's
year
There is
willing
not
to-
one subject that every single person in this town, it will be more interested in
Then this one.
than this one.
It's absolutely 100% true, and he has a communications director that's, 30
There you
hours
go.
a
Yeah.
week, and she's
I
professional.
think it's a good idea.
Us and with
And
Ross,
we should
all of
start
us.
soon, because there's no
Yeah.
reason. Ross is collecting the sales, right? They started
Yep.
October 1 last year. So all of those are getting fed in and
Yeah.
trying to create a model, so.
Inquiring minds should know.
Yeah, and
Yep.
people are smart in this town.
Oh, yeah.
They try to do all the, they do. They
Mhm.
try really
All
hard.
right, you want me to send an email to the communications director suggesting
Sure.
something?
Yeah, just.
Yeah,
say,
I'm not sending anything to that office. You guys do it.
I know.
Well,
I
and
can do it
also
too.
when.
I will. I'll
when the
see what- I'll
when the
copy
new
everybody.
assessments go out, there should also be something in
I think we'll
that
have better
letter
results if
that
I
says,
don't ask.
mill rate is subject to change, and,
Definitely.
don't use the current mill rate to,
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the
Tabulate your
first step
taxes.
out of several
Yeah.
steps
yeah.
I think
towards
that,
your
Couldn't
taxes.
they just have a very, I mean, I don't say it's simple, but, a program, anything like a calculator that's available that just says, when you get your mill rate, put in,
Yeah,
right, and then file your
right.
appeal, right? I mean, it seems pretty,
Well, they can't do that because they filed their appeal in February. The mill rate comes out in July.
they get their notice in November, December. That's when they
That's
get the
true.
new number.
Yep, they get their
Right.
notice, yeah.
Really early.
Yeah, they could, I guess, for the following year, yeah.
Well, you know what this is all, so I feel like the email to them is like, look, we want to be transparent, and we want to run, consistent communication with the public over the next 9 to 12 months based, because there's a reval coming up. And honestly, this isn't coming from the assessor, because he may not want to have this communication with the public, but we as a board would like to have communication with the public so that they can understand the process and, how it's all happening. Because they could potentially take this year's budget and calculate a mill rate based on this year's budget, right? Using the new grand list. So say the grand list is up 15%. So they could at least say,
The
assuming the
grand list is
budget,
gonna be up 40%.
40%. Assuming that the budget is the same next year as it is this
Right.
year, this is the mill rate, instead of being 27, it's gonna be 22, So use
Wouldn't that
this
be
as
nice?
an example. But I mean, yeah, or you're
Oh,
gonna
it's
say chances are the budget's gonna go up 4%.
Yeah.
So here's a, just a guesstimate of what the new mill rate is gonna be. Because he is gonna have an estimate of the new grand list, right? The only thing that's gonna happen is the informals are gonna adjust it,
Yeah.
and then anybody who comes to us, but the grand list is, it
Yeah.
might change. Ross probably knows how much in a reval, the grand list, percentage-wise, tends to go down in the first year. So he could potentially, once December, he could probably have a good idea of what the grand list is gonna be come May, or whenever they set the mill rate.
Yeah.
So there is a way to help people, understand that. And then if the budget goes through the roof, well then, yes, the mill rate's gonna change, but, it might be higher than what the guesstimate could be. But the first selectman's office could do that, there's CFO, there's 2 or 3 CFOs. Someone can do the math and
Yeah.
explain it to the public in a
But
way.
I doubt they would
They're not
give
gonna,
any number.
no,
They're not.
no.
Well, we could.
Yeah, but,
We could just say, assuming the budget stays the same,
Well,
or the budget goes up by 5%
I
next year,
screenshot
there's your
the
number.
history of the history of our mill rates
yeah.
during the 2000s, and I could see how low the mill rate dropped. I want to say it was 2004. I did this a couple weeks ago. It went into the teens.
Would be nice if that happened
Mhm.
again. I don't
When?
think it's going to.
You never see that again.
In
When,
19
during the,
20,
it was, it must have been,
Remember, it was like
must have been 2005, because every 5 years is the reval.
Uh-huh.
So the reval happened.
But plus the
and
market
mill rate
went up, right?
Oh, yeah, the market was going
Right, where in
gangbusters.
2008, the market
Yeah.
went down, so in
Correct.
2010,
Right.
you're not gonna get that. But our market's been.
But I'm just
as far as
saying, we
know,
have
it's gonna
history.
keep climbing unless it crashes between now and November,
Oh,
or to October.
Not gonna happen. Well, anyway, moving on.
I don't think it will. So, yes. I
With the
think we
market
should-
the way it is, there's really no reason for the mill rate to keep going up. It's ridiculous. Put a cap
it
on
won't go up.
spending and let's move
It won't
along.
go up, it'll go down.
Yeah, all
We'll see.
right.
All right, moving on.
So that was
We'll see.
the conversation we would have had with the assessor if he was here then.
Okay, discussion with the assessor, okay. Discussion and vote on whether the BAA should elect to consider appeals, commercial, industrial, over $1 million. Okay, I'm not in favor of, getting involved in those. How
I'm
does
not
everybody
either.
feel about it?
No.
No,
There's 3 of them,
none of us want
Yeah.
to.
and there's only
Okay.
3 anyway.
So
So-
I make a motion that we do not hear appeals over $1 million. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries.
Okay, so then the assessor's office can let those 3 appellants know that they can go right to court.
Right, they go right to court.
And it was
Okay.
5-0, Paulette made the motion, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, now we have set schedule for hearings and deliberations. So without those commercial appeals
Yeah,
that are over $1 million, how many appeals do we actually? And we don't have the motor vehicle anymore. So how many appeals do we actually have?
It looks like 22. Did I say there? I don't know why.
I thought you put 28 on the,
Is there another one? I went in and typed them today. I didn't see an appeal number
I'm counting.
26, and there was no 28. Well, no, they keep posting them on the website.
Yeah,
but
that's all right.
I don't think my, you know where they are, right? Right at the bottom of our BA homepage is appeal files in the current year, so they're all online. So, yeah, it's 25 got uploaded, as did 26. 25 was missing
I
earlier.
see up to 28.
Oh, no, 26 got uploaded, that was missing. So 26 and 28. So, yeah, so there's 28, and then we said there were 3 commercials, so that goes down to 25. And then the
And the
motor
one-
vehicle came out.
Yep.
the one motor
Okay,
vehicle.
so that puts it to 24.
Okay. So how many for the morning, how many for the evening?
Well, if someone wants to look at number 26 and 28, I don't have those 2 on my spreadsheet.
Yeah,
so.
sure, I'm just separating them by residential and,
God bless you.
Thank you.
okay, so here's all the residentials. And what do you want to look?
I just want someone to look at number 26 and 28, find out what they are, and did they request a time?
28's residents and,
Is it real estate?
yeah, they did not,
So no, they didn't specify a time?
no.
Okay.
What's the
28.
property address on that one, do you know?
2081 Fairfield Beach Road.
I feel like I had that a bunch, okay. And then number 26, I didn't have before.
Yeah, I have that one, that's
Okay.
32 Overlook Ave,
And is it a real estate?
yes.
Okay.
Um,
And did they specify a
No.
time?
no,
No time,
no.
okay.
Now, what about the personal ones where we might be able to kill it with a phone call saying, by state statute, we can't,
We can't. Once they
oh,
it's the law, they have the right to an appeal, so they get to come.
You know,
you
we
have the
should,
right to waste your
we
time.
could, right, well, I guess we could just say, listen, we're going to be denying it, here's a phone call, we're gonna be denying it, but you're right, you have a right to come in here.
Good idea.
Right, there you go, that's, yeah.
You know?
Do you want me to see how many those are? Let's see. Most of these are just,
Which
people
ones
are
are these
over.
now that you're looking at?
I'm looking at the personal properties. Denied for MME, what's MME?
I don't know.
Yeah, all right. So all right, here's one. New company started on May, didn't file personal property declaration. I don't know what she's, okay.
That's different though, because
Yeah,
they just-
never
they
mind.
just-
Most of them look like they're discussing not just the,
Oh, okay.
not just the penalty, but also the value.
Okay.
This one is just this one says penalty for late filing, misunderstanding with the CPA.
Well, that's
Yeah,
between
they
her
had
and the
confusion with
CPA.
their own CPA.
So that's a medical office. I could call them, because it looks like that's all she's saying is the penalty.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's one,
I mean, you
that's
could try-
that's
you could
number
call her.
7.
You could call her and say, listen, just, I don't want to waste your time, so I'm just telling you that if there was a disagreement or a misunderstanding between you and your accountant, then, and it's his fault, he should pay the penalty. It's his
Right.
responsibility if he made a deal with you to do it. So we can't remove your penalty. So your best bet is to work it out with your accountant. Now, if you want to come, you're welcome to come, but we can't, by
Okay.
law, there's nothing we can do.
I'll call this person.
Okay.
That's appeal
That's,
number 7.
Louise
You
Satora,
wanna
right?
jot that in?
That's Louise Satora, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And just remind me what the penalties are again? It's a percentage of the...
I don't remember. Is it 10%, 20%? But it's
Does
not a
anyone
lot.
remember?
Like, the way it's written, it makes it look like
25%
it's
of
a
the-
lot
I
of
think
money.
it's
but it ends-
25%
of the what? Of the assessed.
Not the appraised, the assessed.
I forget, what is it?
No.
Yes, it's 25% of the assessed value. So,
No, it's even,
It is.
okay, 25% of the assessed value.
Yeah, because we called them the 6250s. When they were
And-
5,000, they got a penalty of 1250. But they get assessed on that amount. Because the mill rate gets applied to that amount. So your assessed value goes up by 25%. So you're paying taxes on 25% more of your personal property. Right?
That's
Getting
how
taxed
they
on
put the penalty in.
6250 as opposed to on
Right,
5,000,
right.
your penalty is 25%.
is that, wait a minute, I never really quite understood that because I have no head for the personal property, and I should. But,
It doesn't sound like they separate it to
no, you're right.
explain it.
So let's say my personal property tax was, $1, and now I have to pay this 25%, so it's $1.25. But that goes on the bill. I don't pay separately, right?
Right.
So now my new assessed value is $1.25. Is that right?
I was looking at my spreadsheet, I didn't hear what you said.
I don't know.
I guess what I'm
think
trying to
so, but
figure-
that's why it's confusing to everyone.
Okay.
Well, I know, say your assessed value is say, I don't know, what is 70% of something? If you have $10,000, right? Your assessed
Yep.
value is $7,000. But
Uh-huh.
because you didn't file on time, instead of your tax rate being applied to 7,000, it's 7,000 plus 25% of 7,000, which is, I don't know, whatever that is, 30, it's another 1,750 or something, right? Or whatever.
So now does that stay on your tax? So that now your base is no longer 7,000, but 7,000,
correct.
blah, blah, blah.
That your
That's
base is
correct?
your base is now 8,500 or whatever. So you're being
Oh.
taxed on 8,500. So when it's what's the mill rate on $8,500? Another $15, it's not a lot of money because you're only being taxed
But it keeps going
like
up
a
then,
house.
right?
What's that?
That becomes the new base.
That's correct. This
That's
year.
cheating.
Just this year.
Just for that year,
Just for
yeah.
this
Oh,
year. 'Cause
okay.
personal
Okay.
property is
Yeah.
every year. It's not every 5
Right.
years.
That's right.
So
You're
when
right.
it
Yep.
appreciate it all changes.
You're only penalized for the 1
Yeah, so
year.
you're paying tax on the
And
penalty.
hopefully you learn.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Double taxation without representation.
And it's 25%. But when you
Yeah.
actually do the math, if you multiply the mill rate times, you
Yeah,
know,
I know.
8,500
It's
versus
nothing.
7,000,
Yeah.
they're not
Whatever.
paying, it's, you know, they're
Well, it
paying.
depends on the business. For a hairdresser, it's not
Well,
gonna be
that's why
much,
one year
but-
when they have, you know, $250,000 worth of personal property, then yeah, it's a
That's
big
a
deal.
lot,
But
yeah.
when your personal property is pretty low, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay,
So-
well,
Okay.
all right, so I'll call her on that one. So we can put it in at the end, this one, if we want to schedule them now, but assuming I'll be able to convince her not to come.
Well, I think the assessor's office schedules them. We just need to tell them how
Oh.
much.
Oh,
Well, we can decide, I mean, I
So
think you've
little.
scheduled them in the past, honestly, but, I mean, we can tell them, yeah, here's the numbers, never mind what kind they are, there's 11
Right,
of them
never mind
that
what kind
want-
they are.
They want 11 want the morning, 7 want the night, and 6 didn't specify. And that makes 24 appeals. So
Okay.
we probably can hear them, if we take all the ones who said they didn't care, if we put them all at night in our 4-hour slot, we probably can do the 13 in one night, and we can do the 11 in one morning.
I mean, I personally think the personal property is gonna go faster.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I wouldn't give
Yeah.
them 20 minutes, I really wouldn't give them 20 minute slots, I'd give them
Yeah.
15 minutes at the
Yeah.
most,
Yeah,
and just get them done.
yeah.
There's 5 personal properties in the morning, and at night, there's only, 2 personal properties at night, and 4 of them didn't say. So assume we say that the ones that didn't specify are gonna be night, there'd be 6 personal properties at night and 5 in the morning. So, and then the real estate. And we said we were 10 to 1, but there's no reason why we can't go later than 1 o'clock if we decide we wanna do all of them in one morning. And there's 2 of them who, actually, I take it back. There's 1 personal property who is out of town week of March 3rd to the 6th. And that's the one who closed his business 3 years ago. And then there's one that's away March 7th to the Pine Creek Avenue is away the 7th to the 14th. So the guy who closed his business, we could probably do, that's appeal number 5. What did he want? He didn't care. So we probably could hear his on the night that we deliberate or whatever, because he's not around, assuming we don't deliberate in week 1. I mean, you guys, I can tell you what we set for our dates, if that's helpful. You know, when we picked our dates, what did I say? Right, do we want to try, I mean, do you guys want to try to hear them all in one session? One morning and then one night? I don't care if it's the same day, but it could be, you know, or we can do them all in one day and just get them out of the way.
Yeah.
So we noticed March 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Mhm.
10 to 1 and 5:30 to 8:30. Oh, March 7th. Oh boy, why did I only have 10 to 1?
We usually didn't do Fridays.
Right.
That's the 7th is a Friday.
Oh, that's why, okay, I'm freaking out here, okay.
Okay. Oh,
So
yeah.
do we want to pick 4 between, I mean, do you want to just do them all on one day, or do you want to split it? Morning and night? I do think we can fix,
One night.
do you want to do it on the same day? Or do you want to split it between 2 days?
No, 2 different days.
Okay, so let's assume we get them out of the way the week of March.
3rd.
Yeah. I mean, do you want
March
to do,
3rd would be the morning one?
that's Monday. Do you want to do a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday? I do Tuesday. He
Tuesday,
probably needs
Wednesday?
time to get the notices out, so I mean, I suppose if we give it to him, you know, you have to give them 7 days notice, right? So if he doesn't get them out till the 24th, it might not be 7 days by the 3rd.
Mm.
So we could do the morning of the 4th,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then,
Have to be
that's a
done
Tuesday,
by 1:15.
yeah.
Okay,
And then-
so
and
hold
then-
on. 4th, we're saying 10 o'clock start.
10 to 1.
Okay,
And I'm gonna do I would schedule the 11 who wanted a morning. And we can either start with the personal properties and just get them in at 10 o'clock and then, do 4 in the first hour. I mean, and then we can do spread the real estate.
So who, are you going to be,
I can just tell him what we want to do.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
And
happy to do it.
yeah, let's do 10 minutes or 15, something less than 20 for the personal.
Yeah.
'Cause we're, it's gonna go quickly.
There's 5 of them, so I think we just do the 5 in the first hour and just do them every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know, does that make
That'd
sense?
be great.
Okay, I don't know if some of them are the same person. I mean, they'll be backing up, but it'll force us to be on top of stuff. One of them is the Carrollton, and it's,
Oh, they came last year, didn't they?
What are they looking for?
I'd have to look at their appeal, it's number 20. I didn't write the dollar amounts in my spreadsheet.
I'll tell you. Carlton CFO completed an online declaration and believed it had been submitted. CFO also emailed supporting schedules to the assessor's office. This was done October 30th. Assessor's office confirmed receipt of the schedules. CFO inquired via return email as to the receipt of the declaration. The assessor's office did not respond until November 4th. A good faith attempt to file the submittal was made on the 30th. Response to the inquiry was not made until the 4th. He just repeated himself.
Okay.
But then I see 2 different values. Wait a minute. The Carlton one, forget it. It's over $1 million.
Yeah, but it's personal property.
Oh.
I think it's only real estate that we hear over, that we can discuss and vote with the BHO to consider appeals for commercial, industrial, utility, or apartment property. Doesn't say personal property with an assessed value greater than $1 million. And I agree, it's a lot of money.
Is there a big difference between?
Yeah,
the town number and-
he's saying 135 and town says 116. So it's a little less than 300,000.
Is that with the penalty? Is that why?
They're just saying that that's the fair market value.
No, the 1.6, so they didn't get
Oh.
a penalty.
I don't know.
We can't see
There's nothing else.
or he just didn't print it out.
He didn't.
No,
There's
they
nothing on
didn't.
here.
Usually we get at least a part of the deck so we know what's going on.
That's gonna be a tough one to assess.
Yeah, and we don't have to make those decisions in the hearings. I think we just have to hear what they're saying and then.
Listen to what he has to say, and then talk to Ross and see if Ross can't work it out.
Yeah, they got a penalty for late filing. That's the difference.
Oh,
I'm looking at the appeal. There's multiple pages. It shows their gross assessment, their net assessment, last year's assessment, and penalty for late or not filing, $239,490 on the gross assessment.
woof. That's
yeah,
the penalty?
Well, that's the penalty, so they're gonna pay taxes on the $240. That's what we just said, right? That's the 25%, so $240 is 25% of their current gross assessment of $1.2 million. That's right. So that's $250,000 $1.2 million. So now they're paying taxes on that. So what they're arguing is that they shouldn't have gotten the penalty.
Sounds like they shouldn't have.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, it says that he filed it on the 30th, has confirmed receipt. The assessor confirmed the receipt. So if the assessor confirmed we're just discussing
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're getting into this now.
Yeah.
Forget it. Let's just put it on there.
Okay.
All right.
So they
So what
didn't-
you
there's
were
other
saying-
stuff in the backup, yeah.
So what you're saying
It's really
is
helpful to read through these ahead of time, so you.
10 to 1 on the 4th.
I'm thinking
Got it.
I'm just gonna get them all in, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll do the personal properties, we'll do 10 minutes apart
Yep.
in the first hour,
Yep.
and then we'll just go right into real estate.
Okay.
And then on
And
the
then what?
And then
the fifth,
the 5th we have,
at night,
and
we
then
start at 4?
we have 4:30 to 8:30. And then does Wednesday work for you?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So we'll start at 4:30 on the 5th?
Oh, no, so not 10 to 1.
Well, we're gonna
At
I think
night.
we're only
I'm
gonna do
deleting.
one
Yeah.
day and one night.
Yeah, I've got
So
too
if
much
we
on here,
do-
so, okay.
If we
So-
do, and then at night there'll be
BAA, so you're saying
12.
BAA start, what time, 4:30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are deliberations? Or
No,
so more-
those are the-
more
Those are
hearings?
the rest of the hearings.
real
So we'll
estate.
hear on 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So that's the 5th, right?
That's the 5th. Mm-hmm. And people are gonna say, I can't make it, can I move my time? I mean, we're gonna get that, but
Okay,
And then I think that's done with, that will get the hearings out of the way in 2 days.
okay,
Does that make sense?
yep,
Okay. Tuesday the 4th. And March 5th, and then we just have to decide, you know, we can pick our, we need to know these dates so that the notices can go out. That's the most important thing. But then we can decide when do we want to deliberate.
Yeah,
And I won't cancel any meetings until, you know, the hearings are over. We know we'll have one to hear the next week, whenever, because the guy's on vacation. The guy who closed this business 3 years ago.
so we can't decide on the, deliberations yet?
No, we can.
Oh,
I mean,
I
totally
can't do the 10th. I have an event on the night of the 10th. That's a Monday.
Do we want to wait till the next week to do the deliberations, or do we
Oh.
want to start on the night of the 6th?
We could start at night of the 6th.
mhm,
Sure.
fresh in our mind.
Up to
Yep.
you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Yeah, do we want to
I
start?
might have to be here closer to 5.
I mean, we can start at 5. The deliberations, we can
Yeah, that's
start
fine.
at 5.
Mhm, okay. Delib.
And I'll just do an agenda that says 5. It's fine if you break it later, it's just you can't make it any earlier.
Okay,
And then, if we don't finish, are we looking at like, we'll have to get that one guy in the next week. So we'll have to probably at least schedule for his one, even if we're, not that we're gonna decide all 24 on one night, but we never know.
we won't.
So maybe the,
I doubt we would decide on 24 in one night.
Yeah, but if we think we're gonna do the personal properties first, then we can ask to have Karen available on the
Yeah.
6th.
Yep.
We're gonna deliberate on the personal properties. Plus, we're gonna hear them a day earlier, right? We're gonna hear, well, that's not true, we're gonna hear them at different times, but, okay. Most of the personal properties are in the morning, so, okay. So we'll deliberate on at least the personal properties on the Thursday the 6th, and then we'll move into real estate if we want to, okay.
Okay.
And then so we're probably gonna need at least one night the next week.
So the 11th, or do you want to do the 10th? No,
I
you
can't
can't
do the 10th, and I already have a conflict with the 11th. But what about the 12th, Wednesday?
Long as it's in the evening, I can do it.
Yeah. Well, it will be.
Peter, how are Wednesdays?
Yeah, as good as any. I mean, Thursdays are actually better, but Wednesday's fine. Let's just do Wednesday. That's good for everybody.
Do you think we'll be done in,
And we can always schedule the 13th if we need it.
Yeah, we have the whole month scheduled.
Okay.
It's just a
Okay.
question of, I'm not gonna start canceling,
Mm.
I have to issue cancellation notices, but we've got the room, so there's nobody like waiting for that.
possible?
So we're not gonna do 10 or 11, right? We're gonna wait till the 12th?
Yeah,
I guess,
that's
yeah.
okay.
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 Wednesday the 12th. And so I'm gonna schedule, there's that one personal property who can't come through the guy who closed his business 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So he can't come, so I'm gonna schedule him for the 12th at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Which day? On the 12th.
Yeah, there's one guy he's only one person who
Sure.
can't make it that week. Okay.
Just a quick question. Are they allowed to call in their hearing?
No.
So,
No.
I think, yeah, we went to the training the other night and they, it's gone back to you have to come in person.
I see, okay.
I mean, you
Okay.
can send somebody else if you want, but.
Oh, how was the training? Did you learn anything new?
What I find most interesting is to hear how people do things in other towns. I always learn a lot from their processes, and there were not a lot of people there. He went over the autos. I thought that was new, and I forgot to email him for his PowerPoint, but I want to get his PowerPoint. Yeah, like in, where was it? In Stratford. In Stratford, they like don't they don't consider anybody's appeals unless they have an appraisal.
Oh.
I said, what
that
about
right?
comps? He goes, "Well, comps
Wait,
aren't
I
any
couldn't
good."
hear you. Kathleen, say it again, I couldn't hear you.
In Stratford, I don't know if he's the chair of the board, it'd be interesting to listen to their meetings. He basically
Well-
beats up the appellants, not beats them up, but he's very,
It's
he
that
reads
way
the
in
riot act
Easton,
when they
too.
come back, yeah. If
Wait
you
a
don't
minute.
have an appraisal,
Can only Kathleen talk, because I can't hear what she's saying?
sorry, if you don't have an appraisal, they basically don't consider your appeal.
That's illegal.
I was gonna say, that doesn't sound fair, because you're making someone spend $500.
Yeah,
Right?
It's still a
That's
lot
how
right
I
there.
understood it.
it is, I don't know, I mean, yeah,
He may
If
have
you ever
been,
saw,
talking,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Like exaggerated?
Exaggerating a little bit, but basically,
I see.
because I
Well-
asked him, I said, what about like if people bring in comparable sales and stuff? And he's like, well, that's just hearsay or something to that.
Hearsay?
hearsay. What does he do for a living?
Well,
I don't
I
know.
know.
It was interesting because they were
I
all
think they only
there.
had three-member board?
And most of the boards are 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh.
smaller towns. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're appointed. They're not
Yeah,
elected.
some of them are appointed, yep.
Well,
Oh,
majority of them in the state are appointed.
are appointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to put it in your charter or your code to have it be elected and to
Goodness
increase
me.
the number of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
In Milford, they have, it's very, very difficult. It's very confusing in Milford. I went to it with a friend of mine. I went to it with the doctor who helped me with all my stuff. They have all the board members in this big room, in the boardroom like ours, okay? And they're all hearing appeals at the same time. And they don't record them. So you're sitting there and you're trying to have a conversation with the guy across the table from you, and you can hear the people next to you. So it's very confusing. It was like a joke. So I really didn't like their system.
well, many years ago, before I was on the board, that was what they did here. I remember
Really?
going over to that corner, there's a little table there, and somebody else was over here, and someone else
It's like
was over
speed
here.
dating.
Mhm.
Oh.
Wow.
Yep.
yeah, I don't know that, we've been lucky to get the separate rooms the
Yeah.
last 2 revals.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I did her appeal
Okay.
for her, and we lost.
Who did it? Ross?
I did her appeal. I presented her appeal. I did all the work. I did all the comps. I presented her appeal. She was there. I did all the talking, and in the end, we lost.
Do you know why?
Yeah, I know why. We lost because I was trying to pull a fast one because she got the house in a foreclosure.
Ah.
And, they don't consider that a legal sale or a valid sale.
Qualified.
So, but
Yeah.
they really did get screwed. But there was nothing I could do about it. So, in Milford, that particular year in Milford, because of the hurricane, whatever hurricane it was that we had, the assessor decided that all these people's houses had so much damage that he wasn't gonna put the full tax thing in. He was gonna cut their taxes for them because he felt bad. So they didn't get taxed their full amount. So then 5 years later, comes time for reval, they all had these tremendous increases because they didn't realize that they were paying less than they should have been paying. So he raised them up from a number below what they should have been paying to a number that was now what was market value. So it was a nightmare. But there was nothing you could do about it. So we might try again this time though, because there's a lot more comps and it's way beyond that sale date. So we should just be able to do it on comps. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, what's next?
What's next?
Yeah, so we don't have to vote on that schedule, we just
No, it's
agree
just
on
a
it.
schedule. We don't have to. No, we're good.
Ask Ross to schedule those 2, yeah.
Okay, we set the hearings, and then it's transact any other pertinent business before the board. Does anybody have any pertinent business?
Oh, the only other thing I was gonna say is I know last year we waited till the last. We did have one meeting at the end of March so that we could get any of the minutes approved, so they weren't hanging over our
True.
heads.
Yep.
So
Yep.
do you want to have that
Yeah,
plan
let's
again
do that.
this
Let's
year?
do that again.
Somewhere in that last week of March?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The last week in March only has one has a Monday, 31st.
Oh, well, sorry, yeah.
Don't do
no,
it the week before that,
I think we'd
but,
be
you know.
done the week before.
Yeah, we're done.
I mean, if
Yep.
we finish everything up, you know, I mean, if we finish all of the, deliberations on like the 12th and 13th, then it doesn't take that long to get the minutes done. It's just, you know, to be able to approve them, right?
Mhm.
It's just,
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. No.
I thought we had the 6th and the 12th, that's the deliberations. We have the 13th too?
in case we need it,
Is
We
that-
have the 5th,
and the 12th,
wait,
the 6th and the
I
12th,
thought the 4th and the 5th were for the hearings,
yes,
and then
Then the 6th
6th
and the
was
12th.
for
and the
the
12th.
12th, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, if that's,
Right, if we
Yeah.
get, right, obviously.
if we get it done, yeah. And then, but we don't, I mean, we can decide on the 12th when we want to meet again, if you want to wait till then to approve the minutes. I mean, like last year, some came back, right, so we wanted to revisit them.
I'm sorry, can you repeat, before you answer your question, can you repeat the dates again?
March 4th is going to be 10 to 1 in the morning for
That's what I
hearings.
needed, 10 to 1,
Yeah.
thank you.
And the 5th is 4:30 to 8:30, Ash Wednesday. And then we're gonna deliberate on the night of the 6th, starting with personal property and any real estate we can get in, and then deliberating again on the 12th.
Okay,
And there'll be one hearing on the 12th as well for that one gentleman who is away. Actually, he was away 3 to 6, so maybe he'd actually, well, I don't want us to have a special meeting for him on the 7th.
So do we need to leave the week of the 17th open and then have our meeting the week of the 24th, or?
I think as soon as, you know, assuming that we're not getting a paid secretary this year, it's just gonna take me,
Right, so maybe the,
you know, give me a week or so to get the
26th?
minutes done, somewhere
Okay.
in there.
I'm.
We could do it out, we
I
could
can
do it
call in.
over the phone, or Zoom, we wouldn't have to come in
Oh,
person
yeah.
if we didn't want to.
Yeah, that one we can do over the phone.
Let's
Yep.
do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can do that.
I can't do the 25th, I could do the
Yeah, I can't do the
26th,
25th either.
26th is a Wednesday.
yeah,
Son's birthday.
or the 19th, you know, if I get my act together, I don't know. You wanna think about the 26th?
26th.
Let's just put it down.
Okay.
26th? Yeah.
So we're saying Zoom or phone call? Wait, does someone have to be here to do this whole,
We've done it from home before, so no, we should be able to do it. The only thing is you might have to have video when everybody's remote. I think there's the law, something about the law that you can't just do it over the,
So it has to be
conference call.
Zoom.
so it has to be Zoom?
I'm not 100% sure, I'll check on that.
Okay.
If one person's here and everybody else calls in or whatever, I don't,
So 5 o'clock?
that works, it's approval of minutes, but, and any other, you know, I guess any other business
It's
we
5,
wanna think about,
it's 5 to, or, I mean, shoot, it's gonna go
Do
fast.
5's good.
Want to do 6,
up to you.
5:30?
5:30. Thanks very much.
30, okay. And maybe by then you'll have an answer from the First Selectman's office about, you know, some plan for how we wanna start to communicate about the reval and
Okay.
Approve minutes, that's gonna go fast. Okay. Okey dokey.
Okay, any other business?
Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
Okay, well, I have something. The last meeting we had, I believe it was the last meeting we had. Although I went back to listen to the meeting and it somehow got cut off. But anyway, I'm sure we'll remember. At the end of the meeting, Peter and Kathleen had some things they wanted to talk to Helene and Carol and I about. And I thought it was a pretty good conversation. I thought it went well. But when I went home and thought about it, there were some things there that kind of bothered me. And I think that, you know, I think we should bring it out in the open. I'd like this year to be a more pleasant year than we usually have. It should go faster because we don't have that many, and they don't look that deeply involved, and that always makes it easier and less contentious. So I'm hoping that that'll go smoothly and quickly. But I think to say that, or to make it appear, maybe I misunderstood. I'm going to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, that any of the three of us, would do this for personal monetary gain is completely inappropriate. We do not get clients being on the Board of Assessment Appeals. We can't stop somebody from calling us and saying, oh, you're a real estate agent, but that doesn't mean we have to agree to take it. Whether we should take it or not, I think that's up to everybody's individual feeling about it, but that's not why we're here. And it kind of sounded like that. And when I thought about it later, I thought, I'm really outspoken and I can be really contentious. So Carol and Helene really do not deserve to be in the same category as I am. I would never do that for money. And I know they wouldn't. But, that's just one of the issues. As far as helping people, we have a difference in the definition of helping people. Having them, we can't do their appeal for them. However, pointing them in the right direction, telling them where to get the information, and giving them an example of, something that maybe doesn't apply to their house, but just an example of, this is what we're looking for. This is how it should be done. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that we're elected by the people to serve them, and serving them means helping them. And to me, I will do anything in my power, use any knowledge I have, anything I have access to help somebody who comes here with an appeal that has a question about it. As long as it's not, can you do my appeal for me? Yes, I can. But I would direct them to somebody who could. And I would give them a choice of 3 people so that nobody could say, well, you pick somebody from your office. I'll just give them a choice. If they don't know anybody, I'll give them 3 different companies. They can pick who they want. But I'm not going to not help someone. That's just not in my nature. I don't think that's why I'm here. I guess that's it. And my attitude is and has always been that I'm here for them, that I don't come in here with a preconceived notion that the assessor's usually right, the assessor's always right, the assessor's most of the time right. I come in with, they're doing a lot of assessments. And it's not just Ross that's involved in it. There's other people. And I don't agree. I don't think that they're always right. I don't think that they're right 90% of the time or 80% of the time. Because when you really dig into the properties and spend the time and look at it, you see where there's errors. And there's human errors. It can't be helped. But then Ross applies his little tricky-dicky little program to it, and bingo, it works out for him. Well, that's his job. That's not my job. My job is to come to fair market value, not fair market value plus or minus his system. So that's how I look at it. And I think that I've said it before. I'm not going to bother to say it at the beginning of the year. I'll say it now. Or at the beginning of the next meeting, I'll say it now. If you're coming in here with an attitude of, I think that we need to grow the grand list. The assessor's usually right. They didn't prove their case because they didn't give me X when I wanted X, but they gave Y and Z and Q, but that's not good enough for me. That's not right either. You take what we get. It's not our job to argue that they're the wrong comps. It's our job to see if they make sense. And if we're coming in with the attitude of, I'm not going to grant that because it's too much money. I'm not going to grant that because then my taxes are going to go up. Well, you know what? Why should you pay less and they pay more when it's wrong? If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's right, it's right. That's all there is to it. So that's all I'm going to say about it. But I think, I don't expect it, but if it were me, I would wish that Helene and Carol would receive an apology for being accused of things that they would never consider doing. And that's all I have to say. Any other questions? No? Okay,
No.
Then I'll say that the meeting is adjourned. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:13. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, see you next week.
All right, feel
Feel
better,
better.
Paula. Better every
Thanks a lot.
day.
Yep, thank you.